Welcome to the SABC News COVID-19 Global Wrap, where myself, Babalola Phaka, and my colleague Busisiwe Khatebe bring you highlights of news which dominated headlines with regards to the coronavirus pandemic. But before we delve into it, let us have a look at some global stats. The world currently sits at over 39 million confirmed COVID-19 cases, with over 29 million recoveries and over 1.1 million deaths. South Africa currently has over 698,000 confirmed cases, with over 628,000 recoveries and over 18,000 deaths.
In South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa has extended the COVID-19 special relief grant by a further 3 months. The grant period was set to end in October. The president was addressing a joint sitting of Parliament on government's plan, known as the South African Economic Reconstruction and Recovery Plan, to get the economy back into a job-creating growth path following the nation lockdown to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Meanwhile, Cabinet has decided to extend the national state of disaster by another month. Cabinet says this period will allow government to return the country to a progressive and responsible normal. The state of disaster was declared by the president in March in an attempt to slow down the spread of COVID-19. On to the rest of Africa. The continent has now recorded over 1.6 million confirmed COVID-19 cases with over 1.3 million recoveries, with the death toll at 39,150. As Zimbabwe slowly eases from lockdown measures, a clearer picture of the impact caused by the COVID-19 pandemic is only beginning to take shape. Although the country recorded a low fatality rate with just over 200 deaths, the impact on vulnerable groups like women and girls has been devastating, and there are growing fears that the worst is yet to come. And lastly, Kenyan schools reopened for face-to-face learning on Monday, with grades 4, Standard 8 learning and Form 4s returning to class for the first time in 6 months. Kenya announced the closure of all learning institutions in March to contain the spread of COVID-19.
And in international news, COVID-19 cases are surging in Wisconsin in the United States, and it's only going to get worse. This is according to a medical director at the emergency department in a Wisconsin hospital, Dr. Paul Casey, who reported of an alarming spike of positive patients needing hospital admission within the past 3 weeks. And after testing negative for COVID-19, United States President Donald Trump returned to the campaign trail on Monday, telling supporters in Florida that he feels powerful following his recovery. As seen in a Reuters report, Trump arrived at an outdoor rally in Sanford, Florida, without a protective mask, tossing out masks to thousands of supporters, most of whom also did not have any protective face coverings. Meanwhile, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control says it is optimistic of coronavirus vaccines by the end of the year. And in South America, Argentina has now surpassed 900,000 cases of COVID-19, with strong growth of infections seen in the interior of the country. Argentina's government tightened restrictions on movements late last week in 18 provinces due to the growth of virus cases. In Asia, following the devastating effects of the virus on the economy, a senior official at the International Monetary Fund, Vitor Gasper, has advised China to shift its focus on supporting consumption and broadening its social safety net. According to Reuters, although the IMF predicts that China will be the only country to show positive GDP growth this year, Gasper said the pandemic would affect China's long-term growth potential. And finally, in Europe, French authorities said the number of people being treated in intensive care units exceeded 1,500 on Monday, for the first time since late May, sparking fears of local lockdowns being imposed across the country. And as the COVID-19 outbreak accelerates in Britain, Prime Minister Boris Johnson imposed a so-called 3-tiered system of local lockdowns on Monday, including bars, gyms, and casinos.
For the latest updates on the coronavirus, visit sabcnews.com.